students, let us discuss about the new topic, that is probing the structure of solids, which is the X-ray crystallography. So in the previous class we have seen the crystal structure, right? I mean classification of crystals we have discussed, and coming to here, today we are going to discuss about the structure of crystals. So coming to here, probing the structure of solids is nothing but here, when you pass an X-rays, it reveals the structure of the crystal, okay, crystalline solid. For example, if you have been taken a 3D dimensional structure, by saying that we can't determine the correct structure, right? So when you pass X-rays, then what happens, the inside the crystal what happening, we are going to know. So means what here, to know the internal structure of the crystalline solid, we are going to by using X-rays we are going to determine that one, okay. So what is here we are going to discuss, it clearly reveals the structure of the internal structure of the crystal, okay. So here generally when X-rays produce diffraction pattern with crystalline substance. So diffraction pattern with crystalline substance is nothing but what, for example, when X-rays are passing to the crystal, so then what happens, it will give some rays like this, okay. So when it is giving rays, then what happens, at the some pattern, means in a some plate, in a photographic plate, the rays are falling. So we are going to observe the different rays by wavelength, okay. So means what here, the what is the wavelength, the if suppose the wave is passing, so the waves are passing like this, ray X-rays, then it is known as crest. The distance between successive crest and the trough, we call it as what, wavelength. So this is denoted by lambda, okay. So coming to here, what I have told you, the X-rays produce diffraction pattern with crystalline substance. Diffraction pattern is nothing but the waves are producing a pattern when X-rays are passing. Why it is passing? Because the interatomic distance in a crystal is in the same order as of the wavelength. So means what, the distance between the waves, here see this one, the distance between the waves of a crystal should be same, and also the wavelength what you are taking, it should be also same. So nearly it is having what here, 1 angstroms. So 1 angstroms is nothing but 1 into 10 to the power minus 9 nanometers, we can say here, okay. So this is nothing but how it is going to reveal the internal structure of the crystals. So coming to here, a scientist, Max Olen, so he imagined that what here, crystal functions as a 3D dimensional grating. So means what here, he obtained diffraction band by passing X-rays to copper sulfate solution. So he taught that the X-ray diffractions, the X-rays whatever it is passing here, so the crystal is acting as a 3D dimensional structure. So the Max Born scientist, what he taught, it is functioning as a 3D dimensional structure. But coming to that, he did experiment with copper sulfate. So when he did experiment with copper sulfate crystal, when he passed some X-rays to the copper sulfate, then what happens, it allowed to fall on the photographic plate. So the whenever in a copper sulfate crystal the X-rays are passing, so it is fall on the photographic plate, so it should have to give the some interference pattern. So by that we are going to have constructive and destructive interference of the diffracted rays, okay. So what is constructive, what is destructive interference of the diffracted rays, let us see here, Max own law, he has what he has imagined here, the crystal is acting as a 3D dimensional structure. So means what here, when he taught that it is acting as a 3D dimensional structure, So then what he taught here, he had taken example with the copper sulfate crystal. So the copper sulfate crystal is acting as a crystal. So coming to here, he passed X-rays to the copper sulfate crystal, so which is falling on the photographic plate. Whenever you are passing X-rays to the X-rays are passing to the copper sulfate crystal, then what happens? It is falling on the photographic plate. So alternate dark and bright spots are appeared here. Okay, so why it is appearing? Because of the constructive and destructive interference of the diffracted rays. So let us see what is constructive and destructive interference pattern. Okay, so here let us see, this is a constructive interference. So here the constructive interference, if you have been observed, so here the waves, here the X-rays are passing. Okay, two waves we are taking. So this is the first wave, this is the second wave. So here what you have observed here, the interference means the crust. Here it is a crust, this is also a crust, this is a trough, this is also a trough. So means the waves traveling in a same direction here. See here, the waves, whatever it is there, it is traveling in a same direction. So means what here, it is giving some resultant amplitude with a, this is, let us take, this is E naught and this is also E naught. So means what, it is giving what here, this is the wave, it is giving with a resultant amplitude, what, the distance between the, what here, the trough, we call it as what? So it is giving 2 E naught, means what, the waves traveling in a same distance, we call it as what here, constructive interference. Okay, so then coming to destructive interference, so if you have been seen destructive interference, so the waves whatever we have taken here, so the waves what we have taken here, it is in a opposite direction. See here, this one is in this direction, this one is in a opposite direction, means the crust is not same, the trough is not same, so which is in opposite direction. So by this what we can take here, when it is a, this is a wave 1, wave 2, so by this what we can say, the resultant, this will be give positive amplitude, this one will give negative amplitude. So means by cancelling this, what happens, we are going to get the 0. So by this what we can say, the waves which are not in the same phase, we call it as what here, destructive interference. Okay, so by this what we can say, the electromagnetic radiation means the rays whenever it is form in the form of waves in all directions. So by this what we can say means here, according to Max's own law, what he said means the electromagnetic radiation and the wavelength should be in the same direction. So means what, the distance between two successive crest and trough, we call it as what here, wavelength. And here we are going to know the frequency also. So what is the frequency? Frequency is nothing but number of cycles that pass through a point in 1 second, we call it as what here, frequency. Okay, so he had failed to explain this theory. Okay, he cannot explain the internal structure of the crystal. So now Bragg's, a scientist, M.L. Bragg, and coming to W.L. Bragg and W.H. Bragg. Okay, so coming to here, W.L. Bragg, who is W.L. Bragg and W.H. Bragg, father and son. Okay, W.H. Bragg, what they both have did in 1913. In 1913, they both had described the structure of the crystal by passing the X-rays. Okay, so by taking the Max's own law experiment, they have derived the one equation with angles. Okay, so coming to here, they have taken a cubic structure, that is NaCl. By taking NaCl structure, they have determined by using extra diffraction method. So now let us see here, coming to here, So if the atoms, so see here, so here atoms I'm taking. So these atoms, how it is there, these are orderly arranged, right? So I'm taking the atoms, these are orderly arranged. So here X-rays are passing through this. Okay, so we are finding the distance between them. So what is the Bragg's equation is nothing but the relation between the interplanar distance, okay, the relation between the interplanar distance, diffracting angle. So we are going to determine this one, okay, by angle theta. So coming to here, why we are saying distance means, if you take one atom, we are going to get the radius r. If you take another atom, what we can say, r. So by this what we are getting, 2r. Okay, so that's why we say that it is a distance d. So now if you take a lattice, plane, so this is the lattice plane or else crystal plane. So here we are placing what, here we are placing an atoms which is in a regular orderly arranged molecules. So this is the atoms, okay. So these are the atoms we have been taking. So now what happens, the X-rays are passing here to the first one. Let us determine this is the first plane, this is the second plane, with a distance, what we can say here, with a distance d. Each plane is having same distance, okay. So now what happens, when X-rays are passing through the lattice plane and it reflect to the back, okay. So means what, with a distance. So now again what happens, with the same distance it is passing through the plane, again it is reflecting, okay. So with a t angle theta here. So now if you have been seen here, there is a extra distance between these. So let us take, this is a, this is a b, this is a c, and this is a d. See, once again I am saying, so what is Bragg's equation is, when X-rays are passed through the crystal plane, so the relationship between the interplanar distance and the diffracting angle we are going to determine. That one we call it as Bragg's equation. So we have taken a crystal plane here. So when we have taken a crystal plane, so then what happens, this is a crystal plane with a, so this is having angle theta, this is having angle theta, okay. So the waves are traveling so sorry for the inconvenience, students. So see what we are discussing here, we are taking a crystal plane with a lattice points which is arranged orderly. These are, we call it as lattice points, okay. So which are arranged in a regular pattern. So now what happens when X-rays are passing, so means what, the X-rays are passing and it is reflecting with a point A with angle theta. In the same way the second ray is also passing, okay. So coming to here, we are going to determine the distance. So now what happens, this is a B with an angle theta, okay. So now let us see here, the waves are passing. So here the waves are passing in a same direction, and the second ray is also passing in a same direction, but here some extra distance is obtained here. That one we are taking as point C and point D. Okay, so then what happens here? The integral part, so means for that one only we call it as, here means what we can say here, the waves we are saying it is traveling in a equal distance. Here also the waves are traveling in a equal distance. So here we are having extra distance, that is C and D we have taken. This is a B, this is a we have taken with an angles theta. Automatically C and D is also going to have the angle. So then what happens? These are undergoing, the waves which is passing, these are undergoing what? Constructive interference. If you have been observed here, the wave, the crust is same, the trough is same, and crust, these all are same here. That's why we, what we can say, the waves whatever it is passing, it is in a constructive interference. So if the waves are in the same phase, then what happens? The path difference between these two waves will be equal. Means what here? BC plus BD is equals to n lambda. Means the wavelength, here see here the waves are passing, the waves whatever it is passing, it is in the same wavelength and it is having some integral multiple of the wavelength. So BC and BD are equals to n lambda. Okay, so now from these are having right angles triangle, no? From this what we can say, it is a right angle triangle. From right angle triangle, so let us take a right angle triangle with angle theta, that is A, B and C. Okay, so according to this what we can say, so this is having a AB is having distance D. Okay, so from right angle triangle we can say BC by AB, so opposite by hypotenuse. Then what we can write here, BC by D. AB distance is what here? D. And in the same way, if you take another triangle, that is ABD, if you take right angle triangle BA with a distance D, so opposite by hypotenuse, again if you write here, we are going to get what here? Sin theta is equals to BD by AB. So means what here? BD by D. So by this what we can write here, from BC is equals to, from BC is equals to D sin theta and BD is equals to D sin theta. So where theta is the angle of the diffraction, extra diffraction. So starting I have told you one equation, n lambda equals to BC plus BD. Okay, so by this what we can say, BC is D sin theta and BD is also D sin theta. By this what we can say, n lambda is equals to 2D sin theta. So this is the Bragg's equation derivation. So okay, so this is what here, the rays are incidenting and again it is reflecting with a distance dim, so with the angle theta. So now let us see what happens. The Braggs were used X-rays for the study of crystal structures, right? So the Braggs is going to reveal the internal structure of the crystal, because X-rays when fall on the crystal, what happens? They are diffracting. If you have been seen here, they are diffracting the crystals. So then what happens here? So the condition for extractive interference. So what is the constructive interference? If the waves are traveling in the same direction, so then what happens? The X-rays is equals to n lambda, which is in the same phase. Okay, so with an angle theta, instant angle theta. So then what happens? We are taking AB plus BC is a path difference. So by this what we are getting, AB plus BC is n lambda. So AB by BC is equals to sin theta, here we have taken. So by this what we are getting, by right angle triangles we got this equation. By right angle triangles, so this is a, this is a B, this is a C, opposite by hypotenuse with an angle theta, what we are getting? BC by AB. So we got what here? BC is equals to D sin theta. In the same way, if you have been taken BD, that also we are getting what here? D sin theta. By combining of these two, what we can write? 2D sin theta. So where n is nothing but what? Integers 1, 2, 3. Where D is distance between the two successive planes. The distance between the two successive planes we call it as D. And here the lambda indicates what? Wavelength of the X-rays, angle of incident X-rays. Okay, so this is nothing but Bragg's equation. So by using this formula, they can easily determine the structure of the Bragg's equation. So now coming to here, by using Bragg's equation, they have determined the rotating crystal method. So the rotating crystal method is nothing but what means here. So here this is a X-ray. The X-rays are passing through a, this is a crystal. Okay, so in this we are having a sample. Here the X-rays are going to pass to a crystal. Okay, so what happens? A large with a plane surface. So now by using Bragg's equation, so what is the Bragg's equation? N lambda equals to 2D sin theta. So here we are going to know the wavelength. Okay, so the wavelength we are taking is 1 angstrom. So number of rays passing, how many? Only one ray we are passing. Okay, the distance also we are going to calculate. So here the distance, for example, we are having some 2r. Okay, so and angle we are going to determine here. In rotating crystal method, what we are going to determine? The angle we are going to determine by using Bragg's equation. The wavelength is changed but angle is not changed. So because of that only we are going to determine. So what is the rotating crystal is nothing but here, when rays are passed through this molecule, means the, if you have been taking a crystal, the crystal is made into a powder, and whenever the rays are passing, automatically the powder is going to rotate. So whenever the crystal is rotating, so automatically we are going to determine the angle. Okay, so this is nothing but rotating crystal method. So this angle of maximum diffractions, the angle whatever it is giving, that should be known for electrometer reading. By using the electrometer we can simply know the angle. So by this what we can say, the interplanar distance D values in the direction of different, means how many directions it is turning. For example, if it is turning one direction, so we can count. If it is turning this direction, we can count the distance. Okay, so by this what we can say, we are getting different coordinate axis. So by using this, by knowing the integrals, wavelength of the X-rays and distance, so we can easily calculate what here? Theta value. So this is about Bragg rotating crystal method. Okay, so and also they have set up the ratio of D values in different coordinate axis will determine the structure of crystal lattice, and the D values, whatever you are taking different coordinate axis, that one also will determine the what? Structure of crystal lattice. So here we have taken in NaCl crystal, what we have taken here? D values in the ratio of 1 is to 0.703 is to 1.134. So by this we can easily determine the theta value. Okay, so in NaCl, the NaCl structure will be like this. So here this is a NaCl structure, 3D dimensional structure we are going to determine. So this is the NaCl 3D dimensional structure. Okay, so by this this is a face centered cubic structure. So the face centered cubic structure is nothing but what here? We are going to have 6 faces and 8 corners. That one we call it a face centered cubic structure. So this is nothing but NaCl cubic structure. Okay, so in Debye-Scherrer method, there will be also one more method, that is Debye-Scherrer method here. So in the Debye-Scherrer method, we are going to discuss the ionization chamber, that is CH3Br. Okay, so this is nothing but Bragg's equation. So by using this, what we can determine? Internal structure of the crystal. So means what, it will give you one equation, that is n lambda equals to 2d sin theta. So by passing a waves in a constructive pattern interference, so means what, the waves which are in same direction, we call it as what,